All right, here is the speedrun for the Excel Esports case. Wabble. Wabble? I don't know. It's a little like Scrabble, but it's not Scrabble, it's Wabble. So I'll take this Wabble. I'm gonna go with Wabble. There's all words. So I'm gonna use my exists lambda to see if that word exists on the all words list. And I can use that to either give me a yes or a no. This one, I'm gonna forget about words for a second. I just gotta look up this on here. Turning there. Now I'm back to caring about words. So I'm gonna bring my word check over here. Gonna do the sum of XLOOKUP to find all the letters, right? So string to array changes that string to an array. Then look up points again, add them all up. And one last thing, I multiply it by whether it's a word or not. So you see these zeros there. It's because it's not a word. This one, gonna put, string to array of this is the letters. I need to know the spaces. I'm gonna do spaces. I'm gonna do two versions of spaces. I'm gonna do the base points. I'm gonna do the points with DL. All right, so the spaces here are transpose this. And I got to prepare for the fact that some of these might be blank, right? Because it's not totally all array safe, this stuff. So if this equals nothing, then nothing otherwise, the space. All right. Base points is just the same, look up, done over and over again. And then with the DL, right? So if this equals, I mean, it doesn't matter which, but I'll use that one anyway. That is DL, then doesn't matter because, right, the base would be 0 in that case. That times 2, otherwise I25. Actually, did I make it so the base is 0? I should, because some of these are going to be missing, so you need to do a 0 if it's missing. All right, so points so far. I need to know the number of DWs, and then I need to know a multiplier based on that, right? So the point so far is here. Number of DWs, right? Double word scores. I got to count this one. This is the one where I got to make sure there's a tile there, right? So count if that is there. Then the multiplier is 2 to the number of DWs times whether it's a word or not. And then the answer is just the point so far times the multiplier. All right, this one, we're gonna do the same thing, but these spaces I'm gonna have to fill in. So why don't I start with this address here? I should look up the arrow, right? So if this equals down, then arrow down, this is, and my template is the saved range already. Otherwise, arrow right is the other possibility. So now it's just arrow move that address by that direction locked. All right, and then over here on the board, I didn't even use the board yet. X to call of the whole board. And now I can, let's look up this on here, returning here. And if it's missing, then that means there's no bonus there. And that's probably it, right? This times this. Take a second to do, it's, it's got some XLOOKUPs to do on that one. Should do a quick accuracy check on this, right? 560 is a nice round number, right? Yeah, everything's right so far. All right, level 6. Now I can place it anywhere on the board. So I could test every single location on the board both directions, but I don't have to. Because if the word is 5 letters or more, the best you could possibly do is 2 DWs right here, right? Like multiplying every letter by 4 is the best possible thing. So for 5 letters or more, I'm just going to multiply the base score times 4. If it is exactly 4 letters, it could go here, it could go here. That's it, right? So whichever, either the first letter or the last letter gets double letter, and we get 1 double word. And if it's only 3 letters, then you can only reach 1 space, so pick a double word. So I mean, to start with, I'm just gonna do, my base points times 4. That's gonna cover almost everything. Times 4 times whether it's a word or not. Right? That's gonna cover almost everything, but not quite. The ones that are shorter, I'm gonna go do manually. So expect a couple X's here for the ones that are shorter than 5, right? So the only ones here, right, that are shorter than 4 are bend and C. Bear would be, but bear is not a word, according to this. All right, so bend, what's better, the B or the D to go on the double letter? Right, so the B is worth 7 and the D is worth 4, so I'd rather put the B on the double letter. So bear is 14 for the B, E, A. Oh, wait, what word am I doing? Bend, not bear, bend. 14 for B, E is 3 points, N is 2 points, and D is 4 points. So it's 23 so far. That gets double worded once, is 46. All right, the last one is C, which is just the base getting double worded, right? So it is S is 5 and E is 3. So 5 plus 3 plus 3 is 11, and times 2 is 22. All right, now we got to find the best word for each of these, but it says there's no repeated letters, right? So first of all, I'm going to eliminate the one with repeats, right? So is unique string to array of this, right? Because most of these words have double letters, right? It's only the ones without double letters that could possibly be answers to this. So I'm going to make what? L7A is where I'm going to figure this out. So for, words, I'm going to filter the all words list, right? Based on just these ones and zeros, which are already ones and zeros for me. So this, I'm ready to, I can just paste values that. Now I need to know the base score, right? So let's look up string to array of this on here, returning here. Yes, I know, do not need the star, but I do need the parenthesis. And then I just sum those to get the base score of the word. I mean, the whole point of this is to get the biggest base score. So I'm going to sort this so the biggest is on top, and I'll look in that order. All right. So now, let's do a sequence of 1 row and 7 columns just here. So it's 7 letters, possibly, right? Our string to array of this. Some of these are going to be less than 7, right? Which is important. Because it's not, most of the time we can't use all 7 letters in our tiles, right? A lot of the times we're only going to be using 6 or less letters. There's still 12,000 possibilities, so this may go a little bit slower than I like sometimes. All right, so this part was good this time. And I want everything lined up on the left. So now for each of these letters, I want to know, is it okay or not okay? Right? So if the letter doesn't even exist, then it's okay. Right? And I'm going to use ifs. Ifs the letter here, if what exist, or is it exist? No, count substring. Count substring, the big string, which is locked into A, right? The little letter, which is not locked, is greater than 0, then okay. Otherwise, no, not okay. Right? So this, but I'm checking it on itself. I need to check it on count substring of the tiles, right? This locked completely. Now, there we go. Now I'm checking this. So if the count of this, count if that is equal, count if that okay is equal to 7, then 1, otherwise 0, and then I'll just look up the 1 to get the answer, right? So now XLOOKUP a 1 on here, returning the number of points you get. That should be it. It's going to take a second. It's 11,000 something possibilities, even after eliminating the words with repeats. But putting them in order should hopefully help, at least the final lookup, because it's going to stop when it finds the correct answer, which is always the highest one. All right, should be ready to move on. Let's see. Hopefully we have 1,000 points so far, which we do. All right. How many animals can you find in the strings? All right. So what counts as a string? That counts as a string. Those count as strings. This is a string. This is not a string. I mean, it is a string, but it doesn't count as a string. Start cell does not count as a string. And tiles do not count as a string. All right. So now in my all games tab here, I remember what counts as a string. That counts as a string. These all counted as strings. This counted as strings, and these counted as strings, but that was it. The other stuff did not count as strings, right? So if I just do this, this is going to be for bonus 1. I got to get rid of this. I think that's all. Yeah, the rest of these count as strings. All right, so now I just need the animals. Is transpose the animals. And then it's just count substring. So count substring, the big string, small string, lock the lower row number and the other column letter, and fill in the rest of these. The sum is 5, according to the bar. Bar at the bottom tells me the sum, right? How many bonus spaces are there on the board? Well, this one's easier than that. That's just count if, all of this, what, either one, wild card, star, 30. All right, how many times does the most common letter appear on the words in the word tab? All right, well, string to array of all words then is going to give me a big old array. Control Shift star, and then I'm going to do frequency table. This might take a second since it's going to count up 118,615 letters and figure out which one of those is the most common. And of course it is the letter E, 18,242. Face value of all letters appearing in this case. All right, this again is complicated because it includes strings, letters, and tiles. Strings, letters, and tiles. These are not tiles though. They don't count. Strings count. This does not count. strings count, tiles here counts. All right, so now strings we already said counts, right? So now I'm going to add in those letters we said count. This stuff still does not count. This stuff counts. All right, so it's just, I mean, it's everything in this column, but I don't know. I found that a little confusing since, you know, all the rest of that has letters too. String to array of everything. How about? All right, and then this, I don't want the whole thing though. I just want this, so Control Shift End. How about to go in that direction? Now I want another frequency table, and I'm just gonna multiply by the face value. This has the capitals separate from the lowercase. It doesn't bother me in this case. I gotta do the same lookup that we've done 100 times. And then we do sum product of these guys, 3662. Highest score placing anywhere on the board of these 7-letter words. I mean, we already said it's just times 4, right? So it's just the maximum of these base points, right? Times 4 for the 2 double word scores. All right, check if I'm right. Stop the clock. Thanks for watching.